Okay, before we start the stream, I want to say to everyone, I hope everyone's had a wonderful new year. If not, then a great new year here for the first day of 2022. And you're wondering, why didn't I upload this in New Year's Eve? I truthfully wanted to, but I was with the stream by Nixwolf. Huge shout out to him. But anyways, that's not what this video is going to be about. What it is, however, is going to be how I've been throughout 2021. I might talk about a small portion of my past in this video. So if I do get emotional, just bear with me, because we're all human in here. So anyway, let's start the countdown. Alright, we're live. Hey everybody, this is Alex here. Well, we survived 2021. That's something. Anyways, we're now near the end of the first day of 2022, and I truthfully want to say 2021 has been one hell of a year. For me, it was slightly better than 2020, but I'm not going to mention 2020 in this video. What I will mention, however, is what I've been through, my high highs and lows throughout 2021. So, and I'll get to the portion of my past later. So, 2021, it did start off a bit shaky because of, personal BS. I was trying, because, I was still a freshman in college by that point. I was struggling quite a bit in the beginning of class, and I actually failed a class my first semester of college. I ended up retaking that class in the beginning of 2021, and I managed to pass, thankfully, so I don't have to worry about that class again. But another thing that's been really bothering me this past year was, you guessed it, the LMB BS. I know Darren's family and Darren himself might not want me talking about him in this stream. I'm honestly going to refrain from getting too deep in the whole situation. I don't want to bring any more bullshit with the whole LMB stuff. Like Darren, Dan, and Alexander, I just want it to be over and done with forever. But Darren, Dan, and Alex, as much as you want to explain your sides of the story, your sides aren't the only side. Like, Nick had his side as well. Justin had his side as well. Glide has had his side as well. I had my own side as well. But what I might say here, it could piss a lot of his fans off. But Darren, first, your apology. I know you may regret some of the stuff you did back in 2021. But sorry, man. I can't forgive you. I can't forgive all the bullshit you the whole I can't forgive, the whole bullshit everyone's been around with. And it's been really bugging me for the past year, as I wanted it to fucking end and never return. It just kind of kept going back in front of my face and behind my back. It just put me in the back of a corner. Sometimes I just kind of felt like I had no say in what to do and how to react. And I know Darren talked about me in the Ronald Gets Ground channel, which I really didn't like, because by that point I stopped mentioning him in my channel. I stopped mentioning you in my channel, Darren. I would kind of appreciate it if you did the same. Because if one way to really ignore me is really ignore the haters against you and all the other bullshit going on, it's just not to mention them at all in your videos or your streams. But back into the LMB stuff. Like Nick, I joined the LMB server. But like Nick, I wasn't there for very long, because I was met with constant drama and constant fits from the said pioneer, just because he didn't get his way. I'm sorry for bringing it up, Darren, but I'm not going to lie to my viewers. I know it's going to be controversial. Yes. Do I plan on bringing any trouble over? No. I simply want to state my piece. We were constantly getting involved with drama. Unnecessary drama. And at times, I tried to lighten the mood. But eventually, I just got fed up with doing it, and I pretty much said nothing when the drama was going on, which, in my part, was kind of bad. A bad thing to do. I'll own up to that. But the drama, it was still ridiculous. And back in February, me and Nick left LMB and thought we should just start community by ourselves. However, though, Glide did try to mend the whole barrier between us, everybody, with Darren, Dan, and Alex. And for a while, it actually worked. But it didn't stick though, because once again, the tantrums kind of kept happening. The drama kept happening. After numerous attempts to stop it, it just wouldn't stop. Why? And another thing I heard about this, and another thing that kind of sounded ridiculous and pissed me off about this, is that when Nick tried to join, when Nick was making a stream, Darren was, Pip was there very early in the stream, but he left when the stream was starting, and he had a massive meltdown for not arriving first in the stream, because Dan and Izzy came first in the stream. That was the final straw for Nick. And truth be told, that was the final straw for me. And that stream I made back in March of last year, that's since been taken down. I know it was wrong of me to mention Pip Hip's name in the video, but at the time, I thought my viewers would not know who the fuck Pip Hip even is. And plus, Darren's name has been blasted on the internet before my stream even came out. So, I'm not gonna lie, though. Back on March 11th, me and Nick made a stream together calling out Darren for his actions up to that point. It had been taken down a month later by Darren's mother. I think Darren's mother tried to force me to take it down. And by that time, when I was told about it, I was completely blown away from it. And this was before I knew I could have unlisted the streams, unlisted my videos. This was before I noticed how important it could be to unlist videos. Sure was, Clarabelle. Sure was. But I'll tell you what, from that drama, it's made the most of 2021 a living hell. Over what? Not getting your way. You not being the center of attention. With that kind of behavior, I think that kind of shows entitlement. That behavior shows entitlement. And I don't need this spot here. And don't mind the bots that join the stream. These bots, I just ban them. However, through the months after my stream was deleted, I found out something entirely shocking. That Darren, the 3 pioneers, except Marshall, because Marshall was the 4th member of LMNB, who left after months of the shit was going on, they turned out to be pedophiles. I'm not going to... Well, I'm not going to say it if it hasn't been on the internet already. They've been revealed to be possible pedophiles. They've been revealed to be possible pedophiles. Talking to underage users, mostly females. They could have been fake, true, but it could have still happened. It could have still happened. That stigma will stay there for the rest of the person's life. And I thought, these 3 have gone too far. And I did hear that Dan and Alexander had also cut ties with Darren. And I don't think they'll consider hanging out again anytime soon. Which I commend them for, but it doesn't excuse them for their actions. Sorry, no offense, Alexander, or no offense, Danny, whatever you want to be called. It still doesn't excuse you for your actions. Another thing that happened during 2021 is I happened to get my first ever job part time at a bed and breakfast. I've been working there for several months now. I happen to enjoy it. I get paid decently. I get good hours. The food they serve is excellent. And I go to lunch nearby the property of where I work to help support the business. Food there is fantastic. And also, 2021 was still a year we still had to deal with COVID, with a couple new variants coming out, like Delta and Omicron. And we had several celebrities die throughout the year, especially Betty White, who happened to die on New Year's Eve, a little over 2 weeks away from her 100th birthday. And 100th birthday, that is a milestone of a lifetime. Rest in peace, Betty White. Also, within this past year, I've been slowly getting the hang of my friends kind of making their own paths and them not communicating with me that much. And my classmates as well. I can completely understand why they chose their paths, because I'm not a god. I can't choose their paths. As much as I want to communicate with them again, I know I can't control them. I can't just force them to communicate with me, because that's just wrong as shit. Another thing that's also happened in 2021 was me with video games. For most of 2021, I played probably a whole lot of games in most of my room during the day. And my mom and her boyfriend, they noticed I'm probably played too much, and I still try to limit myself from the games. But sometimes when I do feel like I do come back to the games, it just feels like I'm rinsing and repeating in what happened. And lately I've been trying to fight that urge like no tomorrow. I might sometimes go crazy from that. Sometimes I gotta do what I have to do. And also this year, I kind of exposed one of my biggest rivals from my own high school by that point. And that person was Baldemar Rodriguez, also known as Baldy Gaines, from TikTok, Twitch. Knowing Baldy from my high school, when I first met him back in 2018 or so, 2017, 2018, I thought he was a pretty chill dude at first. He was pretty chill. But as time progressed, I kind of saw that he had quite a bit of quite an ego with him, and he did some pretty messed up stuff. And note, during that whole time from 2016 to 2020, my high school, or that more specifically throughout the period of the last bit of second half of 2017 to 2020, I was still dealing with having my heart broken from one girl I had a crush on, and during my freshman year of high school. And let me tell you, that heartbreak, it sucked. It absolutely sucked having to deal with it. It didn't even help that at the time my mom's former boyfriend and my mom were still clashing back and forth. It just felt like I wasn't getting. It felt like the whole situation from there wasn't much better. I did a lot of questionable stuff, venting my frustration from having my heart broken and on the social media. I'll admit that was wrong of me to do, and I apologize for that. But I will say, from the whole bullshit that happened to me during that period, I still got support. My family's been my number one supporter throughout all of that. My mom was very supportive throughout all of it. She knew I'd get a girlfriend once I worked hard enough for it. I even had at times where I tried to act cool or be cool in front of all the pretty and popular people throughout high school. Truth be told, it was doing more harm to me than good. Because there were times where I was just doing stuff I truthfully didn't enjoy doing. And throughout most of the last bit of my senior year, I slowly stopped doing that because I just couldn't be bothered anymore. Especially when the pandemic came in. Keep in mind, I was about to finish my senior year of high school when the pandemic came in. And they canceled prom from my high school, which made a lot of people angry. Because a lot of people had spent hundreds of dollars, hundreds or even thousands of dollars for stuff for the prom, to get ready for the prom, only for it to be canceled and all that money to be fucking wasted. Yeah, great job, COVID. Great job, COVID, for ruining one fucking dance. And I truthfully didn't care at that point anymore because, truth be told, I already knew I wasn't gonna get a fucking date from the prom. Over what? Good looks, popularity, and shit. Ridiculous. They don't give a fuck about education. They don't give a fuck about people's feelings. All they give a shit about is having popularity. Having that 5 fucking second fame window. I tried so fucking hard to be as good as possible to you kind of people, but y'all fucked me over. Decide to fuck me over. Y'all weren't the one who was abandoned by their father for their whole life. And that's true. Because growing up most of my life, my dad Dad chose his work and his side of the family instead of trying to build a relationship with me after my mom and him split. And my mom's current boyfriend knew I wanted to have a relationship with my father for years. He even told my mom that oh, giving gifts for Christmas, you think that trying to give something to Alex for their Christmas would build a relationship with his piece of shit father? The fact that his son wants a relationship with his father but has to give him stuff over it, that's sad. That's what he said. I don't blame Chad for saying. I don't blame my mom's boyfriend for saying that. I really don't. Because there are times I tried so fucking hard to be one of the best sons ever for both sides of the family. The best grandson, best whatever of the family. I tried so hard to be the best family member, or made so many attempts for it. It just felt like I was just wasting my time for nothing. I'm just so tired of having to deal with the losing battle from not only the internet at that time, not only from that shitty situation from 2017 to 2020 in school, but from my own family. And neither side of the family can expect me to mend a relationship with me and my father by myself. We both need to do it as father and son. It's even gotten to the point where I feel like if I had a girlfriend, I didn't want to bring her into my own house, to my own family, because of my own father not being in my life, for being in my life for most of that point in my life. Felt like both my mom felt like she had to play both mom and dad for me growing up, which she's done a pretty damn good job for, which I'll admit. And don't get me wrong, I do love my dad's side of the family. I do love my dad, and I do love my stepmom. But there are times in my life where I still felt empty, where I wanted to have a relationship with my own father. And both my mom and my mom's boyfriend knew I wanted that for a long time. My mom might not have the best things to say to my dad. And to be honest, I truthfully don't blame her. Same thing with my mom's boyfriend. He doesn't have the best things to say with my dad. I personally don't blame him. But throughout the whole situation with my whole school predicament, the heartbreak in July of 2017, COVID, me just staying in a small group of friends because most of the other people in my graduating class really didn't bother trying to hang out with me, especially since I was the one initiating if we should hang out or not. I was the one initiating all that. But for me to just stand there and look like I'm being lied to in front of my face over and over and over again? What kind of situation, what kind of fool do you take me for? And now I like to share something that's been bugging inside my heart for so long. My mom's former boyfriend, Milton Poole. I was 13 years old when I first met him. I was 13 years old. I was in eighth grade at Holland, at not my usual middle school or junior high, as it was called at the time. In eighth grade, it was hard because I was dealing with a whole lot of shit in eighth grade, like the passing of my great grandmother, a lot of issues with family. Even the summer after eighth grade was tough because there are times where my mom and Milton would often get in huge arguments, and during the beginning of some of the arguments, I thought nothing of it. I literally thought nothing of it. And when even so, when I first met Milton, I thought he looked pretty respectable. He was a pretty chill person, real hardworking. But I slowly later saw down the line of what his ego and narcissism could be like. During this a little over 5 years ago, during the summer of 2016, I believe, which happened to be over 6 months after my great grandmother had passed. This house I'm currently living in, I know you can't see the whole house from this dark angle. It's pretty dark here. It wasn't always this clean. It was hoarded like crazy because my uncle at that time was a massive hoarder. Garage was hoarded. The bedrooms were hoarded. The living room was hoarded. Everything was hoarded. Over 5-6 tons trash there. And we were there till dawn or so. And we didn't get home until about 6 or 7 in the evening. And the three of us would usually be incredibly exhausted by that point when we got home. From after carrying a whole bunch of shit, unnecessary shit, or stuff that's never been used, out of the house. And some of the stuff we got out could have been quite valuable for stuff today. And during that time, the arguments with my mom and Milton kind of kept going and got a whole lot more serious. Got more violent. I often felt uncomfortable throughout the whole arguments. If you could see me by then, I felt extremely uneasy, sometimes even scared, and just very uncomfortable during that whole situation. And I thought to myself, if I were to get involved by that point, I would have been told to just leave the room or something. And there are a lot of things that Milton said to my mom that just really hurt me. And there are times where my mom was crying. My own mother was crying through some of the arguments. I was so angry. There's sometimes I was angry that I nearly cried with some of them. God, I'm getting emotional. It seemed like nothing we did, me or my mom did, was good enough for Milton. Milton may have been the richest man I knew. There's no way in hell I'm asking him for money. Even if I'm on the street or homeless, no way in hell I'm asking for him. I'd rather be dead than ask him for money. Because of the shit he did to me and my mother. And near the end of 2016, Milton kicked Colton, a friend of mine, Colton Channing, and his dad, John Channing, out of my old childhood home. And both sides are kind of wrong in this. The Channings were wrong in that side because they made my old house disgusting. My old childhood cats have gone missing. One died, and the other two ran off. Two of them died. The other one ran off and possibly may have gotten eaten. The walls and stuff was all over the place, or messy. It was just a mess. It was from my own childhood home. A childhood home. A place that had been sentimental for me my whole life. To see it ruined, that was extremely embarrassing. But the way Milton came at these two was incredibly uncalled for. Milton was there early in the morning, just shouting and yelling at John Colton because Milton had kicked the door down and wanted to confront John for ruining that house. We could have been civil from it, but according to Milton, really no civil was really there. It felt like if something really didn't go in Milton's favor, he just lashed out. He just really took his anger out on anyone around him or everyone else and didn't put himself responsible for his actions. Especially after my mom and him broke up. And near Christmas of 2016, me and my mom were heading out the door, about to head to our family, who was pulling sympathy, kind of crying, trying to convince my mom to stay. me being 14 at the time, I kind of felt sorry for him. But when I look back at it now, I think, who the hell are you to tell us if we should stay or not? If you wanted to teach me how to be a better person, being more responsible, or more hardworking, to me, you really weren't doing that. You're kind of teaching me to make work the only thing I do in my life, and trying to control how me and my mom live our lives. You try and pull shit like that, seeing like that, you couldn't believe the anger in my eye is, or the anger in my face right now. And not to make it seem like Milton had it easy either growing up. His father was shot dead after he might have gotten robbed. Grandfather died at 13. His mother wasn't much of a mother. His own sister was a hoarder as well. And one thing he did to my mom that really pissed me off, he tried to accuse my mom of sexually molesting me, sexually abusing me, molesting me, knowing my mom didn't do a damn thing to me relating to that sort. And that's why I get fucking pissed off with all this. Because you're trying to make my family look like a fucking mockery. While you yourself are the fucking mockery of the relationship. You even tried to blame me for you and mom's relationship ending on a sour note. Over what? You not getting your fucking way? In the relationship? You not having fucking control? What was it, Milton? Better saying it by myself than dealing with a phone call with him, because he'll just immediately talk all over you. Making it seem like his statements are superior to you. Fucking people like that piss me off so much. But Milton is long gone now. Also, with that kind of sour note out behind me now, I could imagine myself not being more free, especially from the guy I've hated and feared for so long. And when the pandemic came by near the end of my senior year, it couldn't have came at a much worse time than that. But by that point, I just didn't care anymore. I just wanted my senior year to be over with. I just wanted to graduate, get my diploma, and just vamoose out of there and move on. And yeah. And with the whole Milton situation, the only thing I regret is not saying this much earlier. Like I said earlier. Much earlier. Because if you upset my mother, you upset me. You sicken my mother, you sicken me. But since then, I've moved on from the incident, and I haven't thought of him since then. And after my mom's almost 50th birthday, back in 2019, we left Milton's property and we never went back. Yeah. And truth be told, Milton's influence in my life, it didn't really make me any much of a better person. It just made me feel a lot worse about myself. Who could say, Alex, don't blame yourself about that relationship. Don't blame yourself at all. I'm afraid it's not that simple. It's not that simple. That influence really messed me up socially. It kind of felt like I couldn't trust people, not even myself. But once that ended, I kind of slowly but surely started trusting people again. But at the same time, I should know not to trust people too much. Because we're never really knowing what we could all be capable of. Oh, another thing that happened with 2021 with me is I started collabing with other YouTubers. Jason Animates, Nix Wolf, also this year I recently started playing Jackbox. The first 3 party packs of Jackbox. It's a pretty fun game, pretty wacky game. I truthfully enjoy playing it. But with the whole heartbreak from 2017, if I could speak with my 2017 to 2019, 2020 self now, I'm sure my 2017 to 2020 version of myself would say, the heartbreak took my friends. They abandoned me. Being with them again is all that matters. My present self, we share this pain. I fought through hell. I went through hell and back to end it. They can do much better. But so can you, man. So can you. But for the fact of abuse and heartbreak and all that depression and stuff, don't be afraid to speak up. It just keeps happening because people are too afraid to speak up because of their experiences where it feels like they're forced to stay silent about it. Don't be afraid to speak up. I'm living proof. I've always been afraid to speak up for my life, and it's got me nowhere but trouble. So do me a favor, guys. If you're watching, whoever's watching this video, if you're struggling with anxiety, heartbreak, abuse, depression, addiction, or anything, please know you're not alone. You're never going to be alone. Y'all aren't the first person to be like that. You'll never be the last person to do that, to be like that. Don't let that abuse be the only thing in there. Don't let that negativity be the only thing in your mind. Turn that shit into something positive. If you want to work out, work out. If you want to run a marathon, run that fucking marathon. If you want to play any game in the world, choose any game in the world you want to play. Whatever you want to do it. Do it with a sense of pride and a sense of where you're happy. I've tried some of that many times, and they're probably the best decisions of my life. I feel like I've grown as much as a person within these past 4 years, since 4 to 5 years now for the heartbreak. It's been over 4 years since my heartbreak, and I feel like I've grown more since then. I mean, I'm not perfect, I've said and done some pretty stupid things. I mean, I've ruined my body. I've hurt people I love. But I forgive them. And like I said before, and I said 1,000 times, I'm just being me. I'm proud to be me. I've never regretted being me, and that's all I'll ever be. No matter what the fuck somebody says, I don't give a damn who says I'm not good enough to be me, because they don't know who I really am. A simple grade, a simple dance, a simple relationship never defines your life. It will never define who you are as a person. The only way to really define yourself as a person is from your actions, your willpower. That defines your actions. I know y'all can barely see me. Just bear with me. Life is cruel. It doesn't care where you're from, what race, what sex, duality you have, what race you have, religion. It doesn't care about any of that. Some people are great, yes. You know why they're great? Their will. They know what to do. They know what to do themselves. They know what's right and wrong. And they choose to be strong. From here and here. From here, 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 and here. From here, here, and here. Willpower is anywhere in your body. Even though my past had haunted me for years, my will is still stronger than my hate. My will is stronger than my fear. My will is stronger than my jealousy. One thing you need a lot of to survive and thrive in this world, it's willpower. Buckets of it. I can tell from experience. I met a lot of people that had willpower and a lot of potential. I could see themselves through that potential from high school. But nowadays, when I see some of them on Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok, I don't see a lot of people living up to their potential. There are a few that have. Piper Randolph, a close friend of mine. James Perry. There's a lot of them. Eli Pittman. Heidi Kelly. She's doing good in the world. And I actually saw her earlier today. I've known Heidi a long time. Huge shout out to you. Aaron is doing good. Gearhart's doing good. Serving our country. Thank you for serving. And Coulter Langwitz, another friend of mine, he's serving in the Marine Corps. Thank you, Coulter, for serving in our country, pal. You helped me out in the last couple of years of high school. Kind of helped me build a purpose with myself. You're a good friend, Coulter. You know why they would succeed so much? Their will. Their willpower. Their potential. I didn't even realize it until now. Hell, I was even blinded from grief and ignorance or even arrogance. And they're seeing what they're doing now. I couldn't be any more proud. Some people may have put me down in the past and tried to gain potential outside of what happened. I am proud of them. And to the people I've hurt from the whole 2018 to 2020 dilemma throughout my heartbreak and stuff, throughout all those people I hurt, I'm sorry. I know I've done a lot of things to upset you, make you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. If you don't forgive me, that is 100% fine. That is 100% okay. Because by then, I felt like I'd get some sort of closure from that. And it would show that I feel like I don't have to be scared about it anymore. Because for a long time, I kind of felt like I was scared. That I was fear's bitch. I made myself mind the promise that I would have my willpower be stronger than hate. A promise I kept good for most of 2021. There are times I might have slipped out a little, but I kept true to my word for most of that year. "2021 has been a pretty crazy year. It's been, well, 2020 was a pretty tough year for me and my family, especially my uncle. My Uncle David passed away in November time 2020. COVID, I was doing a whole lot with COVID, driver's license, trying to find a job, finishing up school, high school, getting to college. It's been stressful. I'm not gonna lie, it's been fucking stressful. There are times where I just played games to just cope with it. And I'm sure my mom would say, if you want to cope through the hard stuff, that's completely okay. Just don't take it for granted. And I have taken it for granted quite a few times. It's like my mind kind of has a click that if I do something I'm trying to fight an urge for, I just go back to that urge. I've been trying to fight that urge for the past few days now. It's worked so far. Next time I go back to it, I'm making absolutely no promise if I relapse again or something, because I don't know. The truth be told, I don't enjoy socializing because I tend to get incredibly nervous or twitchy when I'm around new people, because I often have a fear of immediately being judged before they get to know me. That kind of fear has been with me for a long time. Even today, I even get anxiety from being in a large crowd of people, a large crowd of strangers. But I'll be damned if I don't prove myself I'm as good as a person as my mom says I am. There are even times if I do plan on having a girlfriend, I often say to myself, I wish I'm as good as my mom thinks I am. Also in 2021, I also encountered a Karen for the first time. It wasn't really that serious, but it was pretty crazy. Moonlight Mimi, in her last of her Moonlight High School stuff, she did an episode where every kid wasn't allowed to have any sort of electronic. MP3 player, a laptop, an iPhone, whatever. It's ridiculous. And I happened to call out on that. I happened to respond quickly from that. And I thought to myself, and I told her, this may not be a good idea. But she did say a whole scandal of bullying about it. And I thought, there's really no proof of that. And I thought, I don't think you're showing any evidence. Can you show evidence of what bullying's been going around on the media with that series? And when I told her, you can't police the school, you can't make it look like a prison. When I said that, she flipped out. She really went ape shit to me, saying how, oh, I'm inferior to her or some shit like that. I'm like, girl, I'm staying my motherfucking in peace here. And you're just you're just overreacting over it. I know Jace tried to calm it down. Jace, I appreciate you so much for trying to calm the situation down, but her overreacting is just absolutely unnecessary. She may be strict, but it doesn't give her any excuse to act like a Karen. Or just being an unfair bitch. Doesn't. And then she just canceled her shit after me saying the whole policy was no electronics policy was a bad idea. Because what if kids need their cell phone electronics to contact their family? What if they need to contact their family, Mimi? That's a big point there. And you can't say I don't have a point there, because family is an important thing for any student's life. Because sooner or later, the family could catch on to a policy that could be so badly enforced that they need to take action. By action, they could possibly sue the district or have the administrator or staff member fired from it. But she ended up saying she retired from it, canceling her shit. Calling people who are calling her out parents. Parents? I don't even have my own fucking house. I'm about to turn 20 next month. I don't even have I'm not ready for even one fucking kid. Excuse my dog. I'll walk her in a minute. Oh, she may not be waiting anymore. Fuck it. I'll walk her. Oh, fuck it. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. God damn, it's freezing outside. I make it this far in 2022. It's indescribable. I can't describe how far. Being raised by a single mom throughout my life. My mom had several failed relationships. I've always loved my mom. No matter if the relationship failed or succeeded, I still loved my mom with all my heart. With all of my heart. And my mom really helped me out with some situations where I was in a very dark place. My mom really helped me. And Mom, if you're watching, if I hurt you in any way in point in time, I'm so sorry. You didn't deserve all the pain and given. You didn't deserve any of the pain given to you from me. I'm really sorry. And Glide, if you're a Glide fan, Blue G, if you're watching the video, for the whole thing with Darren, us not believing you and nearly making you fail your freshman year of high school, the whole thing, I'm so sorry for what happened. I'm really sorry for what happened. I really am. I wouldn't want you to fail at anything. But scumbags control my way of thinking, control my influence. And the way I'm saying it, I just want to cry right now. I want to cry right now. There's still some days in my mind where a past memory will come by my mind. I may get emotional. I mean, it's crazy, you know. I may get emotional, but god damn it. It fucks you up. There's some past memories that can fuck you up for life. And I wish someone fucking helped. Someone should have fucking helped. Yeah, my mom was in Milton. There at some neighborhoods. I wish someone would fucking help. Would fucking help. Fucks you up for life. I tried everything in that point in my life to cope with it. I gained myself to early. I've just pretty much used games myself alpha, and I worked myself to an early grave. I attempted suicide at 17. One thing helped, though. It's talking about it. And when I heard Nick's video about him coming out as gay to his family, I'm so glad that he got support from his mother. Hearing his dad, though, it kind of reminded me from that whole shitty situation from 2015, 2016. No, 2015 to 2019, when Milton was still around in my life. Even though the relationship ended in Christmas of 2016, it was still there for another 3 years until finally it's had enough and just cut him out for good. It was all over. I was just sick and tired. And with this whole thing with the LMNB thing, we all wanted it to end. I'm sick and tired of this whole fucking situation. I just want it to fucking end. I want it to fucking end. And there are also some YouTubers throughout 2021 that I actually looked up to as a child that were fucked over from their actions. Like EDP445. I looked up to him as a kid because of his straight to the point attitude. And him just being proud to be himself. Being found out he's a pedophile. He's incarcerated now, but it's like, why? Why does a YouTuber have to be like this? Hide such sick actions. Especially to some fans that looked up to him as kids, as teenagers, as young adults. It's fucking crazy, you know? But to those, if anybody had hated me throughout 2021, you can live your lives. I don't control how y'all feel. I'll never control how y'all feel. I can accept the hate. And to those who have supported me throughout 2021, thank you so much for the support. Thank you. With the click of a mouse on any one of my videos, I'd stay smiling. Views didn't keep me going. My willpower kept me going. Likes and dislikes didn't stop me. My willpower just pushed on through. I had willpower to spare, but kept my other priorities intact. I know I sound like I'm rambling. I know. But 2021 has been one hell of a year. I'd say it's a pre-mixed year for me. I'd say this year for me, it's been much better than 2020. 2020 has been a pretty rough year for me. 2019 was not that great either. There was not even 2018 was that good. But for 2022, if anyone asks me if this is going to be a good year, I don't know. I need to put in my actions and find out. if y'all are asking if 2022 is going to be a good year, it's only going to be good if you make it good. If you just make it it'll only be bad or even worse than 2021 or 2020 if you make it bad. So choose what you do carefully throughout the years if you want them to be good or not. I truthfully don't have anything else to say at this point. If you've been watching through the whole stream, thank you so much for watching. This has been Alex Bentley, or Alex the Hedgehog from my icon. Either way, you can call me Alex. This has been Alex, signing off. Please like, subscribe, and peace. Bye-bye, everybody. And I hope everyone has a great 2022. And for the next video, I'll see you in the next video. Till then, cheers.